welcome to another exciting edition of Explore Richland. I'm your host, Mark Ingham. Well, excuse our dust, but we are in a hard hat only zone right in the middle of one of the largest road construction projects of 2018, the Queensgate Corridor Improvement Project. The Queensgate project has been on the city's map for several years. Back in 2015, the City of Richland completed an engineering planning study for the corridor, which was followed by several public open house meetings. Now currently, we're about halfway through the project, and we thought that was a great opportunity to invite the City of Richland's Transportation and Development Manager, Julie West, to the program and give us an update on the project. Julie, thanks so much for joining us today.
Great, thanks Mark, good to see you.
You bet. So now we are excited for the update, but we also feel it's important to start kind of at the beginning, lay a solid foundation for this interview. So Julie, can you explain why this project was so necessary?
Well, this project's really important because, Richland is a growing community, and Queensgate and the South Richland area is one of our largest growing areas in our community, and there's a lot of traffic that comes through this interchange. And Queensgate, before construction started, was just a two-lane rural road section, with stop-controlled intersections at Columbia Park Trail and at Jericho, and a signalized intersection here at the DOT on-ramps. And these improvements, will really help the capacity of the roadway and get the traffic flowing through this area a lot better.
Yeah, perfect. And it's not uncommon for the City of Richland to partner with groups on certain projects. And in this case, one of our main partners is the Washington State Department of Transportation. Can you talk about what is their project, their piece of this project, and how collaborating with them is a benefit to the city and its residents?
Yeah, well, collaboration with WSDOT is very important in this corridor because they control the intersection at the on-ramps. And the partnership, began many years ago, and the study that we conducted, back in 2015, and trying to determine which of these intersection types were the appropriate intersections at the different controlled accesses. And the partnership with WSDOT led to them choosing to install a roundabout at this location, and it also helped us coordinate with them on the sequencing of the improvements. And so WSDOT is constructing their portion at the interchange, while the City of Richland is constructing their portion down through the corridor at Columbia Park Trail with our roundabout, as well as the intersection improvements down to Keene.
Yeah, well, a lot happening here. Now, the roundabouts have always been the focus of this project, but they're not the only improvements that are taking place out here. Talk a little bit about all the other improvements going on in this construction project.
So the other improvements that you're going to see are the right lane addition that we've already done at Keene, turning on to Queensgate, and the signal work that's taking place down there. Another really important key piece to this project is that we are connecting the pathway from Keene all the way down to the interstate. Before today, the pathway pretty much stopped up at Queensgate, and segments of it have been constructed, but this connection piece between the interchange, down to Queensgate will be completed with this project. So that's an important aspect for multimodal transportation and bicyclists and pedestrians that want to access the trail system in Richland.
You bet. That's a big improvement. Yeah. Now, Julie, I remember the several design concepts that were on the table for this project at the open houses and presented to council. And I remember they included signalized options at intersections. They included an option that had roundabouts, and one that had both signalized and roundabouts. Why did roundabouts make the most sense for this project?
Well, there's actually really a combination of both of those, and the roundabouts that were chosen at the intersections that they're being installed at were chosen because at those intersections we can get a lot more traffic through with the roundabout, and increases the capacity of it. We can get approximately 20% more vehicles through the roundabout. So that's why they were chosen at the two intersections. We went ahead and left the signalized intersection at Keene because we felt that was the best option, but we've made some additions to that signalized intersection to help traffic flow better as well there.
Yeah, and traffic flow is certainly important. I was curious if there was a cost savings to a roundabout as far as putting one in, maybe even maintaining it. Is that true?
Yeah, really, signalized intersections and roundabouts are very comparable. And you end up with a little bit more savings in the long run with a roundabout because the operational costs involved with signals. Signals just cost more because there's a lot of electronic components with it and monitoring and maintenance of those, where the roundabout really doesn't have much maintenance to it except for the typical roadway and landscaping that you would maintain. So they're very comparable. either could be considered a cost savings over the other, but just very slightly.
Okay, well, thanks for that. And now what we've been waiting for, an update. Can you talk a little bit about what work has been completed to date and what's, on the horizon for this project?
So most of the work that's taken place up till now is the underground work.
Okay.
There was a lot of utility infrastructure that we had to install, mainly through the city's project, with new sewer line going through, a water main as well as all the underground lighting, conduit that had to go in. So all of that's been completed, as well as on the DOT project, those underground features have been completed, and there's been a lot of the grading work, and now we're up to where we're installing the curb.
Okay.
And in the coming 2 weeks, there are going to be a lot of changes out here. You're going to see the paving completed on both projects, and by mid-August, everybody should be running on hard surface, so the gravel will go away. And by the end of August, there'll be a little bit of features to clean up, but traffic should be flowing for the most part on the pavement that's provided for them.
Perfect. Julie, is this project currently on schedule right now, and when is it going to be complete?
So the project is, I would say it's probably about 2 weeks delayed, both projects, just because of the nature of construction. We did have some unforeseen conditions underground that delayed us by about that 2 week time frame. The project is on schedule to still be complete in August, which is what we've told the public, and it will be opened and ready for traffic mid to end of August.
That's great. Now, one thing that's amazed me about this construction project is, in my opinion, just the lack of delays, the lack of closures, that have had to happen to take on this project. And I was wondering, are there any closures, detours on the horizon that the public needs to be aware of?
Mainly what the public should be looking out for is that once we get all of the interior features of the roadway paved out, there's connection points that we have to tie into, both at the ramps as well as at Columbia Park Trail. And so there is a potential for night closures, is what WashDOT has told us, and there's a potential for some additional night closures on the Columbia Park Trail area as well. But all of those will be publicized, similar to the closures we've had previously. But I would anticipate that those are coming up.
And Julia, I wanted to ask how happy you are with the construction progress, and what's it like to come out here and see your vision turning into a reality out here?
It's really exciting, and I've got to say it takes a team of people to produce a project like this. You start from the initial transportation studies, to development of the scope of the project, to design, development, and producing a contract that can be constructed. And so it is really exciting. It's exciting to see our team be successful at producing this project. It's exciting to see the contractor, Colbert Construction, construct it and bring it, to that completion, and as well as the WashDOT contractor, Central Washington Asphalt. And so, yeah, it's very exciting. I'm excited for our community. I'm excited to drive through the corridor because I can already see that traffic's flowing better and what it's going to look like when it's actually finished. And so, yeah, it's exciting to see this project come together for our community. And we've had a lot of funding partners involved in the project. There's a lot of grant funds that I don't know if people are aware of or not, but there's a lot of grant money that's brought to this project, from federal grants to Washington contributing some of their resources to help make the project. Washington State Department of Transportation will commit some of their resources to making the project come together, as well as Benton County Rural Development Funds. There was a significant portion of their funds that contributed, as well as the city pulling their funds together to make it happen as well.
Wow, very, very exciting. Well, I'd like to thank Julie West for coming on the program and giving us such a great update on the Queensgate Corridor Improvement Project. Of course, if you would like to follow the work, you can visit us online. We've set up a quick link, which makes it very easy to find information on the project. You can find that at the link below, and we even have a really cool time-lapse camera set up there. And don't forget to interact with us on social media. We are where you are. You can find us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Before we go, I want to encourage you to continue to support the businesses located within the Queensgate Corridor project. They are open and they are ready to serve you. That said, if you find yourself driving through the Queensgate Corridor project, drive safe, allow yourself lots of time, and definitely stay alert. I'm Mark Ingham. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Explore Richland.